Hola, Blanca Cobb coming at you. What I'm seeing on social media, where are the tears? Where are Amber Heard's tears? Okay, now this was before she testified and got emotional. So I'm gonna go back to the first part, before we saw any tears. And I'm gonna make this bigger than Amber Heard, because I think it's important for you to understand how people who survived traumatic situations deal with tears. So, and I can say this, there's no one way. It's just like dealing with grief or with death, right? People process grief in a million and one ways. It's the same thing with a traumatic situation. But I can tell you this. When a traumatic situation happens and time has passed, and with time you've been able to heal, to process, to deal with it, either by yourself or in therapy, the pain isn't as acute. It isn't as intense. Over time, that pain can subside. And so what that means is, when you think about the bad thing that happened to you, when you talk about that painful situation, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to evoke tears. But if you're not crying about it, it doesn't take away that it actually happened to you or that it actually was painful. What it means is that there's been some healing there. And that is a very good sign. So just because somebody talks about something that happened to them a long time ago and you're not seeing tears, it isn't just to automatically assume that they're lying about it. Instead, it could be that time has passed and they've been able to deal with it. They've been able to process it. That means the pain isn't as intense. Now, having said that, there can be times when people talk about a traumatic situation that they've experienced or survived, where they get sad, and you can see moments of sadness on their face, like genuine sadness. This means like the corners of the lips might come down, or that bottom lip might pout a little bit, or the inner corners of the eyelids might come up together, right? The eyes can look a little glassy. Eyelids can be heavy. Those are all signs of genuine sadness. The voice can change. The voice might be a little deflected. It can sound down. It can almost be a whisper. So you will see changes in someone's body language that would reflect the sadness that they're feeling, although they may not produce tears. So what I don't want for you to do is think that there absolutely has to be tears in order for someone to have really experienced something bad. That's not true. Think about yourself, or maybe, if you've lost a grandparent, or you lost a parent, a sibling, a child, somebody who was close to you, who you loved dearly, and they died. Think about the intense pain that you felt at that time, and you probably thought you weren't sure how you were going to survive it. But then over time, it isn't as intense. It doesn't mean that they didn't pass. It doesn't mean that you didn't love them. It doesn't mean that they weren't important to you. What it means is that you've been able to process that pain. And so when you talk about them, it may not be as painful, and it may not evoke tears. I hope that helps.